Wagwan, my brethren, big things are going. Remember, each and every Monday we have to shell down the place with nothing but the best of smooth way the vibes in your favorite station. You know these things, man.
Alafu kila Tuesday, kata simu tupo side, giving you Kenyan music from the 254.
And of course, you can spice up your Wednesday by enjoying blazing hot hip-hop and R&B jams.
We don't got no label. She say she want bottles.
Vibes and vibes as we go all across Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, all the way to Tanzania to give you nothing but the best on Afro Thursday. Make sure you make a date with us each and every single Friday with me, DJ_Liza Diva,
DJ Cole Jack,
and me, Wanjiko. This is Club One Extra.
Unanifanya nisikie kunyongwa Hadija ai Mani especially ukisonga Maji ni uhai Maji ni haki yako
Je, unajua kwamba wizi wa maji ni uhalifu unaoathiri sisi sote? Hata hivyo, wateja wengi wa maji husalia kimya bila kufahamu madhara yake.
Kama utaki kuniambia ndio hiyo basi.
Hii hoteli nimeamua kuiuza.
Ananunua mpaka sisi.
Gharama zote zile zimehusika na hiyo chakula utalipa wewe. Mapambano. Jana Agonas Green Protector.
Na nini ingine lundia kila kitu kwa sababu nimesikia.
Wasreb tunaadhimisha miaka 20 ya udhibiti wa huduma za maji.
Good afternoon and welcome to this live broadcast of the Senate afternoon sitting on this 27th day of June, the year 2024. This broadcast is streaming live from the Parliament buildings, and this broadcast is brought to you by the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit in partnership with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. In the order of business for the Senate members this afternoon, there are four bills, 3 bills originating from the Senate and 1 from the National Assembly. These bills are scheduled or lined up to be read for the first time. These bills include the County Government's Election Laws Amendment Bill, a bill that is originating from the Senate, Bill number 2 of 2024. And this is a bill whose object is to amend the County Governments Act number 17 of 2012, as well as the Elections Act number 24 of 2011, to ensure that at least 5% of the members of a county assembly are representatives of persons with disabilities as provided for in the Constitution, and that the available slots for marginalized groups are equitably shared amongst the youth, persons with disability, and other marginalized groups. That is the County Government's Election Laws Amendment Bill, a bill that is sponsored by the nominated Senator Honorable Crystal Asige. The other bill that is set to be read for the first time, a bill originating from the Senate, is a bill by the Honorable nominated Senator Gloria Oroba, This is the Provision of Sanitary Towels Bill, Bill number 7 of 2024, lined up for first reading. And the purpose of this bill is to provide for the provision of quality, free and sufficient sanitary towels in all public institutions. The bill stipulates the sources of funds for the committee, the preparation and approval of annual estimates for the committee, auditing of the accounts of the committee, and annual and regular reporting by the committee. This is with regards to part 2 of the bill, that is clauses 4 to 15, that indicates, or rather that provides for the establishment and functions of a committee. That is the Speaker of the Senate, Honorable Amason Kingi, walking into the chambers. He will be presiding over this afternoon sitting. Allow me to hand you over to this live broadcast brought to you by PBU in partnership with KBC. Good afternoon.
Na tuombe. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu, tukusihi ututazame kwa neema nyingi na baraka sisi watumishi wako ambao umeridhika kutuita kwa nyadhifa za uongozi katika jamhuri hii yetu. Tunakuomba utuwajalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote atakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Clerk, do we have quorum? Sergeant at Arms, kindly ring the quorum bell for 10 minutes.
As provided for in the House Standing Order number 39 and 40, with regards to the quorum of the Senate at the commencement of a sitting of the Senate, it indicates that the quorum of the Senate shall be 15 senators, that is seated inside the chambers at the commencement of the House business. If the chair is taken and the House does not have the required quorum, then that will necessitate a quorum bell to be rung for 10 minutes. And that is what we have just seen the Speaker of the Senate direct, that the bell be rung for 10 minutes. As we can see, there are members inside the chambers, yes, but the required number is not yet reached. So that bell will be allowing more senators to be able to make their way into the chambers. And when the numbers get to 15, then we shall hand this broadcast back to you, or rather back to the House for the proceedings to continue. But back to the order of business, as the senators sit this afternoon. Earlier I had indicated that there are 3 bills that are originating from the Senate and are set to be read for the first time. These are new bills: the County Governments Elections Laws Amendment Bill, number 2 of 2024, the Provision of a Sanitary Towels Bill, number 7 of 2024, and the County Wards Equitable Development Bill, also originating from the Senate. This bill is sponsored by 2 senators, that is Honorable Karungo Thangwa and Honorable Godfrey Osotsi. And this is a bill that seeks to promote the decentralization of development within the counties by creating a framework for identifying projects that are beneficial to the residents of the respective wards and the county generally, and providing a framework for the implementation of such projects. This is a bill that touches on the development within counties, and this bill also sets out the objects of, or rather, with regards to the constitution, it sets out the objects of devolution, among them being to give powers of self-governance to the people and enhance the participation of the people in the exercise of powers of the state and in making decisions affecting them. Also to recognize the right of communities to manage their own affairs and to further their development, to promote social and economic development, as well as the provision of proximate, easily accessible services throughout the country by decentralizing the provision of services pursuant to the provisions of the Constitution. So this bill seeks to provide a framework for the identification of development projects in wards within counties and the modalities for the allocation of resources for these projects. This bill also requires, among others, that such projects shall be within the functions of county governments as set out in the provisions of the Constitution. So this is the third bill that are lined up for first reading in this afternoon sitting at the Senate chambers. Currently underway is a quorum bell pursuant to the House Standing Order that if at the commencement of the House business or House sitting, if the House does not correct 15 members inside the chambers, then that will necessitate that quorum bell. As you can see, the chair is taken, that is the speaker is already in the chamber, but the members are not yet enough for the quorum to have been achieved. That is why we have that particular quorum bell, of course, for the members who may be within the precincts of Parliament to be able to make their way to the chambers, and that is exactly what we will see. But once that number is achieved, then we will be able to hand this broadcast back to the chamber, what is happening inside the chamber, for you to be able to follow. Members, this afternoon will also consider a motion. This is a motion that will be seeking to approve sittings of the Senate to be held outside Nairobi for this year. That is, it is with regards to the Senate Mashinani annual sittings. And this time the senators are seeking to hold their sittings in Busia County. It is part of the motion that will be considered this afternoon, and is a motion that will be moved by the Senate Majority Leader. The purpose of the sittings that are held outside Nairobi, remember, this would not be the first one, but the fourth one. The first one was held in Uasin Gishu, Kitui, the second one, and Turkana, that is the third one. The first one took place in 2018, followed by 2019, then 2020. So this time they will be seeking to have the House approve that the sittings be held in Busia County. The purpose of these sittings is to promote the role and work of the Senate and enhance public awareness regarding the business of the Senate and Parliament in general, highlight existing and new opportunities for engagement in the legislative process, also develop and strengthen partnerships at the county level of government, and also provide an opportunity to members and staff of county assemblies to learn and share best practices with senators and parliamentary officers. So this motion will also be considered in today's afternoon sitting. Debate on the Houses of Parliament bicameral relations bill, a bill that is originating from the National Assembly, Bill number 44 of 2023, is also lined up for consideration. However, debate on this bill was concluded on the floor of the House. Debate took place extensively and was concluded. And the business that will be transacted on with regards to this particular bill is that members will be going into division on this bill. That is a bill that is at its second reading stage, and it will go into division for the bill to be read for the second time. But the bill seeks to give effect to Articles 109, 110, 113, and 114 and 118 of the Constitution, which seeks to foster the bicameral relations by prescribing procedure for ensuring seamless consideration of the legislative business of both houses. The bill provides for outlines matters relating to publication and the enacting formula for bills and acts of Parliament so as to standardize the practice. Currently is a quorum bill, so that is a quorum bill that is still on. Remember, we are looking for the presence of members inside the chambers. At least 15 members should be inside the chambers. This is the minority leader, Honorable Stewart Mazai, who has just stepped out. But remember, the House is currently, or rather yet to begin its business. That is the minority leader, of course, consulting with a member over there. But we are waiting to get the required number of members inside the chambers for the House to commence its business. On the Houses of Parliament bicameral relations bill, a bill that is originating from the National Assembly and was already concluded on at the National Assembly and forwarded to the Senate for consideration. This is the bill that is co-sponsored by the Senate Majority Leader, Honorable Aaron Cheruiyot. Debate on it already took place. It is a bill at its second reading stage, and this afternoon, if the House achieves the required quorum, then they will be able to go into division on this for the bill to be read for the second time.
All right, ring the bell for further 10 minutes.
Well, that is quorum bell still on. Pursuant to House Standing Order number 40, that if no quorum is present at the expiration of the 10 minutes, remember earlier on we had the first 10-minute quorum bell as directed for the members to be able to make their way into the chambers to enable the House achieve the required quorum of 15 members at the commencement of a sitting of the Senate. And that 10-minute quorum bell has expired, or that period has expired or has lapsed. With regards to the provisions of the Standing Order number 40, is that if no quorum is present at the expiration of the first 10 minutes, the Speaker may direct that the bell be rung for a further 10 minutes. That is exactly what we have seen from the Speaker. It further says that if there is still no quorum present the Speaker shall adjourn the Senate forthwith to the next sitting. So basically that is what we, or rather that is where we are at, waiting for the members to be able to achieve, or the House to be able to achieve its required quorum at the commencement of a sitting of a Senate. And if it is not achieved, then as provided for in the House Standing Order, the Speaker shall adjourn the sitting to the next sitting. If the quorum is achieved, the House of Parliament Bicameral Relations Bill is one of the bills that is lined up for division at the second reading stage. A further look at what this bill provides for is that it provides for the publication of bills originating from either House of Parliament. This is either the National Assembly or the Senate, the enacting formula, and imposes timelines for such publication to cure scenarios where the government printer at times delays in printing of bills or other bill requests. The bill also provides for the publication of acts of Parliament after assent by the President. It also provides for the manner in which the question arises for purposes of Article 103, Sub-Article 3 of the Constitution, and the matter in which one speaker notifies the other of the question arising. It also provides for the consideration of a question arising and the options available to the speaker upon such consideration. This bill provides for disagreement over the question raised and the options available to the speaker upon such disagreements. So just to remind you is that debate on this bill was concluded on the floor of the House, and this afternoon it is lined up to go into division for the bill to be read for the second time. Pursuant to House Standing Order number 53-1, on the request for statement by senators is that the nominated Senator Honorable Crystal Asige will this afternoon seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget regarding an allocation of 156 billion given by the World Bank to the Kenyan government for integration of 400,000 refugees. This is a statement that the nominated senator pursuant to the House Standing Order 53-1 on request for statements from standing committees, of course, will be asking, and the standing committee is the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget. This is regarding an allocation of 156 billion given by the World Bank to the Kenyan government for the integration of 400,000 refugees. Also, the Senator for Mombasa County, Honorable Mwinyi Haji Faki, will be seeking a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources concerning land issues in the coastal counties. The Senator for Mombasa County, Mwinyi Haji Faki, will be seeking a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources concerning land issues in the coastal counties. Of course, this as provided for in the House Standing Order number 53-1 for members to be able to seek for statements from standing committees of the House. Also, Standing Order number 57-1. This one provides for that the Senate Majority Leader will be issuing a statement on the business of the Senate for the week commencing Tuesday, 2nd July, the year 2024. That is the second phase, if I could call it so, of the quorum bell. The first 10 minutes lapsed. This is the second 10 minute, but once this round lapses, then the Speaker will, as provided for in the House Standing Order, adjourn the House until the next sitting. We are waiting to see if the House can achieve 15 members or a quorum of 15 members as required at the commencement of a sitting. If it does not achieve, then the House will be adjourned. Remember, the senators have just resumed from a 3-week recess, this being their first week after the resumption. And there is a full entry in their business. So the members are expected to make their way to the chambers. But if that quorum is not achieved, then that House, or rather the sitting, will adjourn until the next one. The Senator, Honorable Fatuma Dulo, will be moving a notice of motion on the stoppage of funds to Isiolo County due to the failure by the governor to honor Senate summons or other summonses. This is a motion, a notice of motion that the Isiolo Senator Honorable Fatuma Dulo will be seeking to move this afternoon. For the governor of Isiolo, or rather for the funds to Isiolo to be stopped due to the failure by the governor to honor summons by the Senate or given to him by the Senate. The senator, after presenting her notice of motion, will be seeking to have the House resolve that the Controller of Budget should not authorize any withdrawal of public funds by the County Governor of Isiolo until the Governor has responded to the issues raised in the summons to the satisfaction of the Senate. The member will also be seeking the House to resolve that the National Treasury, pursuant to Article 225 of the Constitution, the Speaker is addressing the House. Let's listen in.
Please. Honorable Senators, please be upstanding. There being no quorum and having rung the bell pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 42, the Senate stands adjourned until Tuesday, the 2nd of July, 2024 at 2:30 p.m. Thank you.